Good afternoon, church family. What is one thing none of us want to do? It's to age. Now, many people have been looking for a solution to this problem, but they can't find one. But what is it? Living a long, healthy life is a choice. It doesn't happen by chance. And age doesn't necessarily mean how many years you've lived, how long you've lived, but it means the quality of life you're living, how active you are, what you're choosing to do with your life. For some, disease and disability can cause people to age prematurely. On the other hand, others continue to lead productive, long, and healthy lifestyles. For example, there's Michelangelo. He painted the Sistine Chapel at the age of 70 years old. And another man by the name of Verdi was 80 years old when he made his most famous opera. Now, to me, that's really astounding. Verdi didn't allow his age to determine what he could and could not do. And what is this thing that can help people to live longer? It's lifestyle. Lifestyle is the number one contributor to a long, healthy, and meaningful life. And it can include things that we don't do, such as smoking, alcohol, and caffeine consumption. And the interesting one is caffeine. It's not something that you think of as being terrible for you. That will shorten your life by many years, in this case, around 10. And it's something that's so prevalent in our society. As Americans, we consume a lot of caffeine, especially through coffee consumption. Also, other things that do not benefit us is eating a diet of rich, refined foods, and that coupled with little to no exercise. Many studies have been conducted to see what group of people, on average, live a longer, healthier life. And you know what they found out? They found out that Adventists live longer and healthier lives. But why is this? And other studies also focused on this, and it showed that Adventists have less heart disease, cancer, diabetes, osteoporosis, and Alzheimer's. And another interesting one is the cancer piece, because cancer affects many people very personally, and only around 5 to 10% of cancer is caused by the genetic abnormalities or genetic defects that happen, the changes to the genetic information that lead to cancer. The other 90 to 95% of cancer can be preventable. But how? Through our lifestyle. Lifestyle and environment play a huge role in how long we can live. And also, another fact about Adventists is they usually get most diseases, if they do get them, 10 years later than the average person. That's a long time. That's a full decade. And also, 300 studies show the health benefits experienced by church members. And they show that Adventists live longer and healthier lives. But how? How is this possible? Why do Adventists, of all people, live longer, healthier lives. In the mid-1800s, the medical practices weren't the best. They practiced bloodletting, also prescribed pills that were poisonous, such as mercury and arsenic. These pills don't help people. In fact, they harm them. But during this time, mid-1800s, there was a woman by the name of Ellen G. White who wrote on the subject of health because she knew that health is such an important factor to lifestyle. And an example of this was tobacco. Tobacco was seen as something that had more health benefits than drawbacks. But Ellen G. White didn't believe this. But why? Why did she not believe what she was told? I mean, there was no research on it yet. People knew there were some effects that weren't desired, but they thought that there were health benefits from it. The advantage is the guidance of the Bible. Now, this shouldn't come as a big surprise to us. For example, take Daniel and his friends. They were taken into captivity by Babylon, and they got to eat at the king's table. Imagine how that would feel. It would be pretty cool to be able to sit at a king's table and have anything you wanted. But the things that were on the king's table weren't healthy. For example, there were things that God told us not to eat, such as pork. There was wine. There was food that was high in sugar, carbs, and etc. So Daniel and his friends decided to make a choice. They decided, we're not going to eat the king's food, which was a huge risk. Because during these times, if you insulted a king, it could lead to death. But they asked for 10 days to be able to eat what God had told them to eat. And so they set up this trial. And for 10 days, Daniel and his friends ate only vegetables and drank only water, while everybody else ate of the king's delicacies. And after those 10 days, it was shown that Daniel and his friends were healthier, they looked better, they felt better than anybody else. So, being healthy isn't just by chance. It's a choice that we have to make. Just like Daniel and his friends, they made the choice to be healthy. They made the choice to follow what God had told them to do. And also, maintaining a healthy weight lowers risk of heart disease, stroke, diabetes, high blood pressure, and some forms of cancer. And also, research shows that on average, vegetarians weigh 30 pounds less than meat eaters. Now that's a big difference. And also, the closer to being a vegetarian you are, so the more vegetables you eat, less meat you eat, it lowers the risk of diabetes and high blood pressure. Lifestyle choices have an impact on the quality and length of our lives. The choices that we make affect how we feel. They affect how long we will be able to live. And I have another question. What is an Adventist lifestyle? What does it look like? So usually an Adventist lifestyle is plant-based diet, so a lot of those fruits, veggies, grains, beans, nuts, and seeds, and less meat. Also, getting exercise and fresh air is very important because the exercise helps you to grow, it helps you to stay fit, helps you to develop strong muscles and bones, and also abstaining from alcohol and drugs. As Adventists, we believe that these things are not healthy for us, and so therefore we shouldn't do them. Also, on average, we don't smoke. And smoking is very harmful as it leads to higher risk of cancer, especially lung cancer. But the biggest factor isn't any of those things. The biggest factor is the trust in God. By trusting in God, it lowers stress levels, which stress can also lead to a shorter lifespan because it's not healthy. Being stressed isn't good for your brain. It keeps you up at night. And so by trusting in God, it eliminates this. Just by praying to God and trusting in Him can lead to a healthier life. And the most interesting part is Bible study also helps. Bible study can lead to a longer life as well, because it's shown that that connection lowers stress levels and just makes you feel better, makes you live life to the fullest. And the Adventist life expectancy is the age of 89, and the average is 79 years of age. So that's an extra 10 years of life added on. And these guidelines aren't just available to a few select people. These guidelines are available to everyone, because these guidelines are found in the Bible. And the Bible is the most published book in the world. No other book surpasses it. No other book is printed more or bought more. And in Proverbs 4, verse 20 to 22, it reads, "My son, give attention to my words. Incline your ear to my sayings. Do not let them depart from your eyes. Keep them in the midst of your heart, for they are life to those who find them, and health to all their flesh." So this is showing that the Bible is key. In this is just one single verse out of many that show that we have a choice. We can follow what it says in the Bible and live a long and healthy and productive lifestyle. But the key is choice. You have a choice to live a healthy lifestyle. You have a choice to follow the Bible. And so, it's not chance. You have a choice.